Alright, what's up everyone? I've been pretty freaking bored and I'm just looking for an excuse to drive the car and knock the dust off this thing. There's literally dust on this thing. You can't see it on the camera, but it's just been sitting. I've been tinkering around with it a little bit, but nothing really crazy has changed with it. Obviously I haven't been able to drive it with all of the quarantine stuff going on. So, kind of bored, and I think I'm going to go out and drive it around a little bit, and I'm really itching to see how this second gear launch works in the car. So I think I'm gonna take a little guess at the tune-up and maybe make a hit out in Mexico. I don't know how well it's gonna go, but I'm just gonna use a couple of different techniques that I think will work, and hopefully the second gear launch makes the car is gonna make it a lot tamer, and I'll be able to actually maybe hook up a little bit. It rained last night and the roads probably still got a bunch of moisture coming up out of them, so I don't really have too high hopes of actually hooking up, but I'm going to give it a shot. And I'll show you guys my sweet beard I got going on just real quick in the video. I don't get to grow this very often, so it'll be shaved off here in a couple of days, but I'm pretty happy to have a little bit of freedom to do this every once in a while. So I'm going to lower the air pressure in the tires real quick. Too, the road's pretty cold, so there's been like a large amount of cops out in Mexico here lately. I don't know if they're looking for speeders or, I mean, obviously we're supposed to be kind of staying in our houses, but I'm not going to be in contact with anyone, so I'm not really too worried about it. Get my air pressure gauge out of here. See what these tires come out to. This is hard to do one-handed. What's that? It looks like a little under 18 psi cold, so I'm going to air these things down to like 15 psi cold. Soften the side, it'll soften the sidewalls up a little bit. Generally when I have more traction I put more air pressure in these, but this really isn't a great tire to try to make hits in Mexico on. So I'm just going to try to do the best I can with it. So I'm going to air these down real quick and then make some shock adjustments. I got both sides. Air pressure set at 15 psi now, so that's good. I'm going to get out of the car and make some shock adjustments really quick. So my plan is, if I can get under here. These are full. Well, there's like one click of rebound right there, so I'm gonna go like 5 clicks on compression. These shocks are pretty tight, so. And then I want the suspension to be able to separate some and push the tire into the ground, so I'm gonna go like 3 clicks on rebound. So fairly loose shock settings for what I'm trying to do. I need to hook up my anti-roll bar. I've got these quick release pins right here. When I street drive this thing, I don't normally have the anti-roll bar hooked up, but since I'm gonna try and maybe make a hit, I'm gonna hook this up real quick. I like these. Come on. I like these quick release pins. They're super easy to take in and out. So I'm gonna get this hooked up. It's pretty easy right here, even with one hand. Not too bad. Slide the pin in there and it's ready to go instead of having to unbolt it all the time, because I do take this thing out on the street pretty regularly. So I'm gonna hook that other side up real quick, and then I'm gonna make a couple of changes to the tune, calm it down a little bit. So next I'm gonna make a couple of tune changes real quick just to calm the car down. I've still got a pretty high two-step. I think my two-step set at 4,300 RPM, so I'm gonna lower that down some, just to make this thing more calm, because I'm going to be where there's basically no traction or limited traction. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go to, trying to do this through the camera's tough, emission parameters, and then I'm going to go to my rev limiter number 1. I've got it set to spark only. I'm going to change that. I'm going to say 3,800 RPM. We'll just keep it nice and soft. Leaving in second gear. That shouldn't be too bad. I used to do like a 25 to 50 RPM split on these, so I'm gonna put my off RPM at 3750. Usually the farther apart you set your on and off RPM, the more rowdy the two-step is, so I found that 50 RPM split to be pretty good. And I think I have a timing retard in here that I used to use with the first gear leave. I'm gonna go in and turn that off because I don't think it's needed. Let's see, where's it at? Always forget. Basic inputs and outputs, and then timing retard over here. Turn that off. We're just gonna keep the car nice and soft on the two-step, so I shouldn't need that timing retard. We're gonna find out. And then I just send this to the ECU. It wants me to cycle the ignition power. Alright. Cycle this. Here's a wait a few seconds. Alright. Close this down. I'm gonna make some setting changes on the boost leash over here. Alright, so based off the little bit that I know about this new setup from the one pass I made and a little bit of street driving, I'm gonna go in here. And I know like 13 pounds, about 120 mile an hour tune up in the 8th. I think that's plenty of power for what I'm gonna try to do today. So I'm gonna put my launch PSI to 0, so it's not gonna put any CO2 on top of the gates. We'll do one stage and we'll have it come in immediately. We'll make the rate real slow. Like ramp in real slow, and then I'll ramp in. I'm gonna go back. I'll ramp in like 5 psi slowly, so you can actually test this. I need to turn my CO2 on real quick. And good pressure over there. What you can do is go to the test mode on here. Just hold this, and then you can go and look, and it shows you. That little line right there shows you how fast the boost comes in, or how fast the CO2 comes in. So takes about 0.72 for 5 pounds to come in. That's pretty good. Should give us a little bit of a buffer. I may slow that down just a little bit. Let's put it on the slowest rate we can put it on a 1 rate. Test it. Yep. So that should make it pretty lazy. Hopefully you can see right there, it takes it like a full second, really. And not even a full second. Let's go. 0.8. It's about as slow as we can go. That click is I got a leak somewhere I need to find. So I'm gonna try this cold start up real quick. I've been working on it a little bit, and it's fairly cold. What's the coolant temp right there is 59 degrees. So crank this thing up real quick and see how it does. Yeah, I need to work on the startup enrichment a little bit. Yep, she don't like being cold. this thing hates the highway now with 456 rear gears. So everyone's gonna be mad at me because I'm driving about 50 miles an hour, but it'll be okay. Yeah, we're gonna go out and see what it'll do. Alright, gotta make this quick. Here we go. Dirt all over the road and everything else, so we're probably gonna spin bad. So much. Still moisture in the road and everything else. The problem is it's spinning right as I let off the trans brake. I need to really calm the car down a little more so it doesn't spin the tire. I want to dead hook the radio. You can't spin the radio, they don't recover. So overall that was fun though. Get this thing cruised back to the house. It's running nice and cool. It's got good oil pressure. I don't have a lot of fuel left. Safe from Mexico, and I already downloaded this data log. I wanted to show you guys a few things right here. I normally don't really show my data logs, but I'll start showing you guys some more of them. So I got a couple of nice parameters over here. I got this drag race section here on the data log viewer. So to start off, all of the you've got the different colors right here. So obviously TPS is the green line over here, drive shaft speeds the purple, and then the red right there is RPM, and the blue down there is oil pressure. I just always like to keep an eye on my oil pressure. So the trans brake's lit up green right there. You can tell when I was on the trans brake. What we get up to, I don't even know if I let it hit on limiter. I have to go back and watch the video. Yeah, it was up on the limiter for a split second. You can see right there is when I let off. You can see I stayed on the throttle for a little bit, then I started pedaling it. And like I wasn't completely letting off the throttle. I was just easing out of it to try and modulate the power a little bit. So I'll get rid of the TPS real quick so you can see the drive shaft speed. So that purple line right there is the drive shaft speed, And anytime you see like a real sharp climb on there, or you see spikes, that's the tire spinning. So I mean, the car was basically spinning the entire time, and I was just trying to modulate power to keep it hooked up. That's the thing with these drag radials, is when they start spinning, they don't ever really stop spinning. I was getting traction, but it was just kind of hazing the tires pretty bad. And then the RPM, the highest I ever got up to in RPM was like 6 grand maybe. And the other data log looks exactly the same. So, and it kind of sucks that I'm down there where traffic and everything else is. I don't really have any other spots to go to that are kind of secluded without driving like 40 or 50 minutes out. So it is what it is out there. I just did the best I could with it, and this was really just to kind of kill some of my boredom than anything else and get you guys a little bit of content. But overall, everything looked good. Oil pressure was good. It's hanging around 70-ish PSI, somewhere in there, which is perfectly fine oil pressure. It's good. Everything looks good. Challenging to get down a road like that. I'm interested to see what the GoPro video looks like. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Hopefully I can get some more test sessions out in Mexico here pretty soon. Like always, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.